In the movie The Puss in Boots: The Last Wish by Joel Crawford, there were many aspects of the movie that made it great, like the visuals, the humor, the storytelling, even some of the villains and side characters. But what made it really stand out from the rest is how it portrayed the main idea, which was anxiety, through the character of Puss in Boots. One of the main scenes I want to talk about is when Puss in Boots first had an encounter with the Hooded Wolf. In the beginning of the fight, he was extremely confident because he thought that the Hooded Wolf was just any old bounty hunter that he fought before. Soon after the fight started, Puss was like really losing the fight, and he was just losing his confidence. And we see this through the camera angles, the sound, and the effects, because as the fight goes on more and more, the camera angle shifts from both of them being level-headed to we seeing the Hooded Wolf on the lower side, so it's putting him on a higher pedestal. He's like stronger than Puss, and then Puss is usually like the camera's facing down. Puss is no longer in the light as he was like in the beginning of the movie, in the beginning of the fight actually. He was more in the light in the bar where they fought at, but towards the end, they both like went towards the shadowy area, kind of representing that the wolf is death himself, and Puss is going to die if he doesn't get out. And that's exactly what he did. He ran away. The fearless hero ran away from death. And I don't know, it's kind of like poetic. Another example of this happening is when it's like the rising action of the movie when they were in the forest looking for the last wish. Puss gets lost in like a cave and he has to find his way out. And in that cave, he sees his past 8 personalities from his past lives, and he can see how cocky and selfish they were. And we kind of see how much Puss has grown throughout the movie with this scene. This is another time when the Hooded Wolf shows up, pushes that idea even further into Puss's head. And this is another time where Puss just ran for his life. And it did the same exact thing where he was like breathing extremely heavily and his fur was like standing up, like he got goosebumps. And he was just terrified for his life. And the camera was spinning. It was like to represent like how chaotic it was. And like everything turned red, and red is usually like it's an aggressive color. And all the walls around Puss as he was running away from the cave turned red with the Hooded Wolf's face on it, representing like the aggression of the wolf and that he won't stop coming for Puss. The last part I want to talk about is probably the strongest part of the movie, like handling for anxiety wise. And this is the part when this is like right before the cave scene where they were fighting Jack Horner for the scroll, but in midst fight they see the Hooded Wolf. Well, Puss sees the Hooded Wolf, and he just freezes, and he's just terrified. And then right after, he decides to just run as fast as he can with the scroll. And he runs into a forest, and everywhere he turns, he just sees the Hooded Wolf's face on, like, rocks, structures, and stuff like that. And he's like, his heart is beating louder than it's ever been. And then, like, the lighting was just all way darker than it usually is in the movie. And it's just way less colorful, and he's just running for his life. And then he sat down at a tree, holding his, like, chest with his heart beating extremely fast. And, to see the supposed fearless hero acting like that is just, like, crazy.